And I apologize, you know what I'm saying? Breaking your heart, breaking our promise, breaking God's promise, and being a selfish, messed up husband, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a better person. I want to get this off.
Hello. Welcome to Relations. Hello, humans of the world. Here we are again for another amazing episode. And of course, I have another special guest because my co hosts are so dope. Um, so, this is Questlasoul, and I known him forever. We grew up in the same neighborhood, in the same building. We've known each other since kids. Him and my brother were really cool. Like they used to, make music together and talk music and connect in that nature. So I'm always gonna respect him just because of that. And so say hello to the people.
Yes, hello everyone. Yes, man, it's Questlasoul. I'm here.
He's
Yes,
here.
and
He's
here,
here.
yes, like Mus said, how we met. It's definitely how we met, and it's touching. Yes, your brother stays stopping me in the hallways. Yo, kick a freestyle. You know what I mean?
R.I.P. By the way.
Yes. God bless the dead.
Man, please bless them. So the premise of today's podcast called Survival of Manhood. This is really a subject that I connect with very strongly because there's a lot happening in our community, especially when it comes to Black men. And I really want and need my Black men to be amazing, to be powerful, to be connected. I need them here. We need them here. And I feel like there is something happening in our society where we're trying to diminish the man, especially the Black man. And so I want to, just have an authentic conversation about what's going on with men. What is in the psyche of men? What are you guys thinking? How can we heal this ideology of what I believe was fed to you guys? So, they say, men, you are not disconnected, you're heartless, you're soulless, you're savages that lead his thoughts and his actions by one organ in his physical form. I think that's lies. I don't believe you. We all are sexual beings. I mean, sex is pleasurable. But in the temporary physical realm of existence, as we know, flesh expires. So how can we hold ourselves accountable that all of our given organs are just as strong as the ones that connect us to pleasure and reproduction? So I know that was a mouthful, but these are just my thoughts, and I had to write about it to kind of get it all out there so I could formalize a thought process to really what I'm feeling and removing my own experience from the thought process. And not really being bitter about what has happened to me or my experience with the Black man, but really seeing deeper than what my experience is.
Okay.
So tell me, how do we begin to be accountable? How do we begin to be honest? Is your penis indeed is stronger than your mind, your heart, your spirit, your soul?
I mean, no, it's not. But, being young and growing up, and once you first get a taste of sex, you start thinking with your penis for a few years till you grow up out of it, or you may just get trapped in it, in which most is trapped in it. Some think with their penis more than they think with their own minds, and which also distracts them, from looking at the opportunities of somebody who can change your ways, you know what I'm saying, or who can accept you for who you are. And as Black men, we don't feel accepted so much in so many things. It's hard to get a job. Look at how society. We was raised on a different society in this generation. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we was built on coming up on love, but it was hard trying to get a job or staying in school. Now it's like they have that opportunity to get a job, to stay in school. They choose not to do these things because they want to be the rapper. They want to be the hustler. They want to follow the other trends. So with all that, it's like, it's a lot of distractions within the mind. So it's like the only thing we get to get relief or comfort is sex. And
so you think it's like a coping mechanism?
Yeah.
Let's see, but I didn't even think about that.
Because if you Because you got to think about it. You know, women, they get hurt, and it comes from probably a past of even home or something being done. Guys, you don't really hear guys' stories just like, my pop's not home. You know what I'm saying? My pop's not, he's in jail or something. Or you got someone who have their moms that passed away or ran away. Everybody has their different stories.
Yeah.
But the whole thing is that we're all separated by 7 degrees. You know what I'm saying? So we all relate to the same concepts. It's just how did we overcome them and become better? So being a victim of that, we all took different roles. And some dudes may have a comfort of wanting to find love. Like myself, I want to find love. I felt like I didn't have love coming from my home environment. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like that I got to search for it. I felt like, yeah, Dad, I don't feel like my mom's love me this much because I'm not pushing myself this much or whatever it could be, or what was fighting in my mind at that age. But I felt like I had to go look within women to find that love. And hey, not coming from the ghetto, coming from the hood, whatever how you want to call it, don't have a lot, don't have it all. So, it's going to be hard trying to even get a girl that you may like to like you if you don't got it all. So it's like you're already putting so many challenge in defeating things, Like, how can I overcome this challenge when it's already destined for me to lose? You know what I'm saying? It's a challenge for me to overcome something that's just being pure of myself, but I can't be that. So it's
so you feel like you can't be your authentic self, like what you feel you are inside. You feel like you can't be that.
Yeah.
And you believe that many men have the same type of struggle. Like you're upholding to be who you think you should be or supposed to be rather than who you feel like you are.
Yeah.
Wow. So where do you think like the social conditioning comes from? Like this whole thought like that, your occupation can only be basketball or a rapper. Or the fact that, well, you have to go out and seek love. These ideologies, or, well, for me to feel something, I gotta go and use my penis to make me feel fulfilled. Like, where do you think this conditioning comes from, this thought process?
I mean, honestly, it comes from like, I wouldn't say social media because it was there before that. But I feel like it's more on it because it's what people see. You see sex a lot, and then you gotta hear how these people get on. Like, come on, like, oh, they had sex with this person. So you gotta think about it growing up and hearing things like that, and now knowing the facts and looking through knowing your homework and looking through the facts and knowing that people really didn't do that. It was just publicity. It's like, dang, that triggered in my mind. Like, that's how I had to go. So when I got an opportunity or something, I went with that. Like, that's how people are thinking. That's why people are like, yo, I don't need school. I could just do this. Like, people are believing, well, men too, as well as believing this. Sex is like, it's nothing but it could get you in the door or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, we could do this. We could get in the door. You know what I'm saying? This guy, this or this or that. But
women and men.
Yeah. More say they say it's women, but it's both sides, man. Because, like I said, if you look at the world today, it's it's straight, it's gay, it's lesbian, whatever how you want to look at it. Everybody, it's themselves. So it's gonna be a mix. So it's for you to each his own, and some people may not be comfortable with the choices they make to get where they got. So it's really the mind that they really have to find control of, and not making their penis being that controlled substance.
So do you believe like it's about having self-control, or is it more like having self-love, self-respect?
Both.
Because is it both?
Self-control.
Do you believe we have to control our mind?
Yeah. Yeah,
How
you have
so?
to. I mean, because the mind continuously works. It's always working. Even when you're sleeping, it's working. Your thought process, your memory bank, every part of your brain is working. Just because they say we don't use 10% or even 1%, but it works. It's doing its job. Maybe you're not realizing it yet, but your body works. It works as one.
Even when you're sitting down, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you can't stop your thought process. I definitely have a problem
I'm
with that.
thinking so much things to
all
say,
the time.
and it's like I gotta stay on focus on this, the one thing I'm saying. Like, you know, my mind is just going everywhere with it.
Right.
So
it's like a consistent thing. So does it come from fear that takes hold of our state of being? Like where's the source of the thought process, right? Like now let's go deeper, right? We're talking about our actions, now we're talking about our thoughts. Now let's talk about what formalizes these thoughts. Like what is the feeling behind the thought? They say like you think and then you feel. I believe is the opposite. I think feeling is what rules. I think energy rules everything. And so we are thinking that our mind are more powerful, but really our intuitive nature, our energetic flow is what rules our mental state. So what do you think is ingrained in our energy that makes us have the thought process, or men specifically, the thought process that you guys have?
Well, energy now is very high, and you know, people are becoming one with their energy now. So, you know, men are waking up nowadays, you know, because as you can see, men are becoming better fathers, you know, taking more roles of wanting to do things, but we're still distracted, you know. So, let's see, where was I?
Like, where's the distraction coming from? Like, what's the feeling that's tied to that distraction? Is it a fear? Is it the trauma?
I'm going to say it's more the fear. It's more the fear because it's like a man can be destined to do anything he wants as long as he know that he can achieve it. But if you feel like he's never done it or never like came in contact with something, he's gonna be fair to do it. He's like, I don't know this. I'm not gonna do it. It's like, okay, everybody cross the street. He never crossed the street. And it's like he's not gonna cross the street. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I wasn't taught to cross the street.
I'm not taught to do what I don't know.
Exactly.
Right.
But that's the thing. I feel that's what stopped us right there. That thought process of, so somebody told you because they didn't teach you, so you didn't want to teach yourself to go. You know, you gotta.
Different.
You have to go. You have to go with your daredevil instinct. That's how you're gonna learn for anything. You're gonna overcome your fear. The fear is built up because you're like, I know I can do it, but it's like a brick wall just come out of nowhere, and it's like, I don't know how to get through it, and I don't know what's fearing me, but why I'm so scared, why I'm like this. Sometimes it's just madness in the mind. You're just lost, trying to be found, but not realizing you're found. You're not realizing the people around you are the ones that's making you even better a person, but you're stuck. You know, and most men in the world have so much different fears. You know, fear of being homeless, being broke, not having the latest things, just all these things that's kind of materialistic. You know what I'm saying? Just to impress a female at the end of the day. So you gotta think of what's the fear? The fear is that we don't love ourselves as much as we should, as much as we want to love women. But we gotta love ourselves in that same way to love them, because that's the only way we can build to come up. You know, and yeah.
So is the idea? I mean, I used to always say this, like, you know, it seems like men do everything. Like the driving force is women. Like everything that drives a man has to do with a woman. Do you think that comes from, like you just said, like him trying to not being able to connect with himself? So it's like, well, let me just focus on her, because if I just keep focused on pleasing her, making her happy and doing things for her, then I don't have to like think about myself. And not just one her, but maybe multiple hers. Just anybody else outside of me.
Yeah. Yes. And yeah, the mind, man mind can work like that. You know, and he'll just not think of himself no more and just think of that one person and just want to make that person happy, want to continue, but not realizing like you're also hurting yourself because you're not loving yourself. You know, you're not knowing if that person may love you back. You know, your mind starts working against you.
Yeah,
you know, and it's like you do everything from the love of your heart, but now your mind plays the tricks on you. So now it's like, oh man. And you know, from what I, for me, just talking with amongst all my friends and, relationship problems or whatever it is, I realize it's like, communication is key.
Mm.
I feel we should all communicate and be yourself.
Mm. And I believe we're a lot more alike than we think. Like you said, right? We all are having the same type of experiences, just in different magnitudes and different ways, but we're all experiencing the same type of things. So having just this dialect and removing that ideology that you can't say what you really feel, right? Because you feel like, well, is a survival mechanism to refrain from speaking your truth.
Yeah.
It's like if you speak it, then now you're vulnerable. If you're vulnerable, then now you're opened to be hurt, to be affected, to be not treated in a good way. And so how do I survive and protect myself? It's like a sense of protection.
Yes. And to protect yourself is to really love yourself, to learn more about yourself, learn new things about yourself. And I feel men don't explore that as much as they think they do. The world is big. It's just not, your state, your county, your borough, your hood, your blocks. It's more than that. Come on, there's so many ethnicities around. Talk, ask to learn something. Learn how to say hi in another language. Even if you just want to learn how to say hi, bye, how's your day, that's all you want to know.
That's something new.
That's something new. You know what I'm saying? You can sit there and tell somebody you know how to speak another language. May not be fluently, but you know a couple of words, and it's only gonna keep growing to you simple. So it's that. It's like gotta be adventurous with yourself. You gotta put yourself in those, sometimes I feel like sometimes I don't moments. Sometimes you gotta put yourself in, I know I can't overcome this. I know I don't even got the qualities, but you know what? I can get it done. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, you gotta keep trying. You know what I'm saying? 50 Cent said it the best. Get
Get rich or
die trying. My mind is racing so much right now.
It's okay. A lot of people are like.
Yes, so that's a good saying album. You know what I'm saying, of a quote. Like, yeah, I gotta get rich or die trying. Yeah, you gotta die trying everything you believe in. Even if it's love, even if it's a job, if it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? This world was was created for the living organs on the world. Excuse me.
Species. Even the idea, right, that you almost have to like have this go mentality, but sometimes it's just about doing something uncomfortable. Like, the quote, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Have you ever heard that?
I heard that, but I heard that when I was younger. So
you didn't really understand it.
Yeah, it really didn't resonate, and then I didn't hear it in a while. So you saying that, it's like, okay, damn. I kind of just felt that once you said that. It's like, damn, I'm really...
Like, how can I make myself uncomfortable? Just the things like you said, right? Speak to somebody that you don't know. Ask a question that you might not be comfortable with. Just put yourself out there. Be uncomfortable.
Yes, you have to. And I think that's the thing. We got comfortable. And as you see, I posted this is not going to work. And it says growth and comfortable. I realized, damn, I posted that for myself, so I can say it's time to grow. Because, my favorite, producer, which is Pharrell, he said, you're already that person. Put yourself in that place. I believe that so much. I believe I'm already that musical person. I believe I'm this. I believe I'm that person. I believe everybody's that person. But we're stuck in different places. And we're trying to figure out how to get out. Who's going to help us to get out? How? We don't know how to get ourselves out there. So that's why I think we're comfortable of where we at. Like, okay, you know what? This cool. This person got out of just being comfortable. But nobody knows what that person was doing behind their closed doors. You know what I'm saying?
And all they have to sacrifice to get to where they were at.
Exactly.
So how do you now, with this awareness of yourself and the things that you are choosing now to do differently, how do you heal yourself so that you can heal your lineage?
How do I hear myself? I'm still in the process of that. You know, I try to pray a little bit more. You know, meditate. Um, Got to start feeding the body the right tools, which is eating healthy. Got to cut down on the things that's distracting me. Which I can possibly say is smoking a lot more than I shouldn't be. Drinking. Just I shouldn't even be drinking at all, but I still drink. So
discipline. When you say
discipline, yes,
like discipline.
You gotta discipline yourself too as well. So yeah, that's the first thing I'm doing, and actually reading a book called The Slight Edge. That's about discipline. So
who's the author? I want to see.
I actually don't know the author, but he actually he inspired one of my authors, which is John C. Maxwell.
Oh, okay. So he's like the source of like the inspiration.
Yeah,
like
the inspiration. Yes. So
that's pretty
so
cool.
I like that.
So what is like one thing that you got from reading the book thus far, like that you would want to give to the people as like advice on discipline?
Well, if you're unhappy with something, let it go. Don't hold it. Don't keep it around. Don't even try to think it's gonna change. If you are unhappy of what you are doing or where you are at, move. Move. Because the more you stay, is the more you're sinking. So.
And the more that you feel more comfortable, even with the things that are uncomfortable, like you're unhappy, but you know the unhappy. So you almost stick with being unhappy because you know it more than the possibility of.
It's like knowing the unknown, better. But you know the outcome of it, but you don't want to change it.
It's like the epitome of like insanity.
Welcome to madness.
Welcome to human species. We know better, but we must do better, right? Once you know, you gotta do.
Yep. I mean, a lot of our musicians say that a lot that we listen to, and I say that because I love music. You might have an inspirational person, so it's whoever influenced you. They say all these quotes that we've been saying, so
it's like a growing theme.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep growing. It's like we have to not be the crabs in the barrel. We have to be more like. Let me see what animal I can think about.
That travel together.
Yeah.
Like deers. Deers are really big on like going together. Ducks travel in packs. Birds travel in packs.
I was just gonna say turtles.
Turtles. I love turtles.
Because turtles they travel to different beaches around the world. So
yeah. So we should be more like turtles.
Nah, I mean,
I like that.
but yeah, what I mean, they live long and they see a lot of the world. So, I mean, if you really think about it, they take life one step at a time.
And they're slow too, but it doesn't matter.
And
it's
they
not
win.
The speed. It's
and
about,
they win.
Right.
And they win. And the winning is they live to be old. They live to see kids. Like that's something to look at in family. Like if you want to build your family tree to keep it strong, how? Because we all came from family tree foundations, but we, like you said, we're trying to figure out.
We're trying to heal our lineage. I mean, this is the purpose of everything that I do. I want to heal my lineage. Like one of the biggest things that hit me last year was when my mom passed away. I remember as I was watching her take her last breath, like literally, I felt. Well, one, I started feeling like I was taking the breaths with her. And then there was a moment, like, as she took her last breath, I literally felt like everything within her spirit that she didn't get to do went into, like, mine. And I just felt this heavy responsibility to heal her stuff, her mom's stuff. My great-grandmother's stuff is now all in me. Like, I feel it on top of me, just ready to heal. Like, she's not here to do it, but now she's living through you.
Yes.
So you now have to carry on all of that, make it better so that you don't have to pass more stuff to who comes after you. So when I say heal our lineage, like I'm talking about like our real lineage, like the idea that what you're living right now and what you're going through and what you're facing is not just for you. is for everything that comes after you.
You're right on that. Your legacy. You were right on that. You got me a little thought mind right now.
Yeah, keep with it. Keep with it. So one of the biggest things that I feel right now is that I really, I mean, obviously I lost my brother, and so he was a Black man, and I had a father who's still around, and he has a lot to heal that he's not healing. And so I want to find a way that I can contribute to the healing of Black men. So what's one thing you want to leave Black men with? Like one way they can start really the self-love journey, right? Because it's a journey, it's an ongoing journey. It's something that takes a lot of discipline, like we talked about. And it's more than just eating healthy and going to the gym. Because, like guys say, well, I go to the gym. I take care of myself. I go to the gym. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's your physical form. How are you taking care of your spirit? How are you taking care of your soul? How are you taking care of that deep instinct within you?
I mean, like I say, the start of it is starting with self. You gotta start with yourself.
So you say like being alone, him like taking more walks like by water, or like what do you suggest? Reading a book about discipline, whatever,
I would say you first have to be alone in a room. You gotta figure out and meditate with yourself to see what is it you want to do, where you want to go, how you're going to heal yourself, how you're going to change the next steps. So I feel like you should write down the things that you're doing that you don't like doing, but you're doing it because it's a survival. Write it down. Write down the things you want to do, and as you look at that, make a vision board and look how you put everything to your mind that you see that comes to your mind. Put it on that board. How you came from this to that. That put you. Make that there, and then you look at it. You look at that board and you look at it. You see like you made a little timeline there. Now, if you look at it, you're gonna look at a point on that board and you're like, right there is where I stopped. Now, how can I heal myself? And you're healing yourself right there by realizing all your wrongs, all your, the things that's hurting you from not to healing yourself. Because you just got to realize with yourself. I mean, I don't know how to say it, by just saying that you got to know one with yourself by being alone and realizing, because the mind talks with yourself. It plays tricks on you, but you also talk with yourself. So when you're talking with yourself, you're basically knowing you're premeditating your, I'm so...
Premeditating your thoughts.
Yeah. Yes, you're premeditating your thoughts, and it's like you know what you got to do.
So and deep down inside, we all know, right? We all know what we need to do. We know where we need to at least try to get to. So how about we spend more time focusing on what we can do right now? I know that we were taught to be so goal oriented, like, figure out what you're gonna do in 10 years, figure out what you're gonna do in 5 years, like. But how about today? How about in the next 10 minutes? What am I going to do for myself? Yeah,
you're right about that, because next 10 minutes
never
be per you promised.
Right.
So yeah.
Amen to that.
I believe in that. You gotta go for the moment and not go for the future. You know what I mean? Because what you're doing for the moment will build your future. If you wait for the future is here, and now you're like, yeah, what?
I never started.
So I know that feeling.
We open there. Well, thank you so much for listening. This was good. I feel like we're gonna need a part 2 or something. This is more, so much more to talk about.
I think it may need a part 2. You done got me hyped. I don't even want to. We got another one to talk about.
We'll keep going. We have more to do. We have more days, God willing. So we'll have more of this to happen. So thank you, everyone, for listening. Remember, stay tuned for the after credits. It's the best part. And I will see you next time.
Later. Yes. Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye.
Peace.
Beauty. When I'm looking at her, it's you and me. She told me, don't lose me. Don't lose me.
And now, the best part. Here are the after credits. A message from my co-host.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is Questlasoul, and I'm here to give you a couple of advice. For the men, I believe, my theory is that we should learn to let go of this tough man role, or this whatever this character is that we gotta portray to for the attention, or to let people look at us to be the man that we need to be, or what they see us as. Nah, you gotta look in the man in the mirror. Like Mike said, you gotta look in the man in the mirror, and you gotta talk with that person and overcome that man. Cause when you look in the mirror and you know that you're destined for greatness, guess what? Your reflection is telling you you are greatness. How you gonna get it?